Imagine creating one of the most recognizable logos in history and getting paid just $35 for it. Today, that simple checkmark, the Nike swoosh, is worth billions of dollars. It appears on the feet of world champions, Olympic athletes, football legends, basketball icons, and millions of everyday people around the globe. But Nike didn't begin as a giant corporation. It started with two men, a dream, and the belief that every athlete deserved a better running shoe. This is the incredible story of how Nike changed sports forever. Our story begins in the early 1960s. A young man named Phil Knight had just graduated from business school at Stanford University. He loved running, but he noticed something interesting. At the time, German brands dominated the athletic shoe market. Quality running shoes were expensive, and there were very few affordable options. Phil believed Japanese manufacturers could make shoes that matched the quality of European brands while costing much less. It was just an idea, but sometimes great companies begin with nothing more than an idea. In 1964, Phil Knight teamed up with his former track coach, Bill Bowerman, from the University of Oregon. Bowerman wasn't just a coach. He was obsessed with making runners faster. He constantly experimented with shoes, cutting them apart and rebuilding them to improve comfort, weight, and performance. Together, they started a company called Blue Ribbon Sports. Their first business was surprisingly simple. They imported running shoes from Japan and sold them directly to athletes. Phil Knight often sold shoes from the trunk of his car after track meets. There was no glamorous office, no luxury stores, just determination. As years passed, Blue Ribbon Sports became more successful. Eventually, the partnership with their Japanese supplier ended. Phil and Bowerman realized they needed something bigger. They needed their own brand. In 1971, they searched for a name. Many ideas were suggested. Then one employee, Jeff Johnson, proposed a name that had come to him in a dream. Nike, named after the ancient Greek goddess of victory. The founders loved it. A new company was born. Every great brand needs a memorable logo. Phil Knight asked a graphic design student named Carolyn Davidson to create one. She worked for several hours, sketching different ideas. Eventually, she created a simple curved mark inspired by movement and the wing of the Greek goddess Nike. It looked fast. It looked powerful. Phil wasn't completely convinced. His famous response was, "I don't love it, but maybe it will grow on me." Carolyn was paid only $35 for her work. No one imagined that logo would become one of the most valuable symbols in history. Years later, Nike surprised Carolyn. The company invited her to a special ceremony. She received a gold ring featuring the swoosh and shares of Nike stock as a thank you for her contribution. Those shares eventually became worth far more than anyone could have imagined. Bill Bowerman never stopped inventing. One morning, while eating breakfast, he looked at his wife's waffle iron. The square pattern gave him an idea. What if shoe soles had that same texture? He poured rubber into the waffle iron to create a new outsole. The result became one of Nike's earliest innovations. The waffle trainer offered runners better grip while remaining lightweight. It helped Nike stand out from competitors. Sometimes billion-dollar ideas begin in the kitchen. Throughout the 1970s, Nike expanded rapidly. More athletes started wearing the shoes. Running became increasingly popular across America. In 1980, Nike became a publicly traded company. Employees who believed in the company from the beginning suddenly found themselves owning valuable stock. The little startup had become a serious business. In 1984, Nike made one of the boldest decisions in sports marketing. They signed a young rookie from the NBA. His name was Michael Jordan. Many people believed the deal was risky. Jordan preferred another shoe brand at first, but Nike saw something special. Together, they launched the Air Jordan shoe. The NBA even fined Jordan for wearing the original black and red sneakers because they violated the league's uniform rules. Nike turned the controversy into advertising. Instead of hurting sales, it created massive excitement. Air Jordan became one of the most successful shoe lines ever created. It transformed both Nike and the sneaker industry forever. By the late 1980s, competition had become fierce. Nike needed a message that would inspire everyone, not just athletes. In 1988, they introduced three simple words: just do it. The slogan encouraged people to overcome fear, doubt, and excuses. It wasn't only about sports. It became a way of thinking. Today, those three words remain among the most recognized advertising slogans in the world. Over the following decades, Nike partnered with some of the world's greatest athletes: football legends, basketball superstars, Olympic champions, tennis icons, golf professionals. The company expanded into apparel, equipment, and lifestyle fashion. Its products reached nearly every country on Earth. The swoosh became a global symbol of ambition and performance. Success did not come without criticism. Nike faced concerns over factory working conditions and labor practices in some countries. The company responded by increasing transparency, introducing monitoring programs, and making changes to improve workplace standards. Like many global companies, Nike learned that reputation is built not only by products, but also by responsibility. Today, Nike is one of the world's largest sportswear companies. Millions of people wear Nike every day. Professional athletes continue to trust its products. The swoosh appears in stadiums, gyms, schools, streets, and sporting events across the globe. What started with shoes sold from the trunk of a car has grown into a global empire.